Hi, welcome to week 2. I wanted to give you a little overview as we're getting used to our online sessions for class together. Remember, you can reach out to me at any time if you have any questions. Let's start by doing a little bit of an overview. If we look at this week, we're going to start the beginning of our discussion of how to create teams to do what's called MTSS, or multi-tiered systems of support. So think about when you're a teacher or a teaching assistant, you really want to be able to work with other teachers and other teaching assistants to come up with strategies as a team that we know are research based and that are going to help a student that's struggling. So if I've already tried one or two things as a teacher and I just can't quite figure out what to do next, there are a lot of good resources. One of those resources is working with other teachers. And we're going to start talking about that a tiny bit this week. We're also going to be talking about emotional and multiple intelligences. And those are our big assignments for the week. Now, when you look at this, this is the example, and you have a video that you're going to watch for this as well. But this first tier, this first group, this is all of your students in class. What are the specific things you're doing to help each individual child in class? But when things aren't working well, we are going to start to work with a team for maybe some ideas at what we call tier 1, but tier 2 is when we're working as a team for sure, and we're trying more specific interventions to help students get on track if they're struggling with academics, let's say, and I don't know how to get them back on track, or with something in this case, and in our class, we're talking about behaviors and social emotional needs. So what are things I can do that are a little more intensive, a little more exact to get students back on track? And then once we get up to tier 3, this can happen sometimes where we might have a student working with specialists at this point, or really doing some more intensive things to help them. Now, each week you will see a variety of links for your assignments and general videos. This video is up toward the top as well. What I wanted to show you though is each week you should be able to go, and I think each week we'll just have one section now versus 2 like we did in week 1. You're going to be able to see the assignments and the readings. So these are brief readings. This is Howard Gardner talking about multiple intelligences in his own voice. But these are quick overview videos that I think are even more helpful. One is listing the intelligence types and how that might look in a class. And the other is how to specifically teach emotional intelligence to preschool age students. So those are things that are going to help with your discussion. And when we look at the assignments, one is you're making some basic notes based on what you can read about one of these 3 examples. You're going to choose if you want to do initial notes for Javier, Serena, or Stacy. And you can click into these to read their information. And then all you're going to fill out, and you can make some of your own notes on this as well, but basics, you're the teacher, the student's name, what are their strengths, what are their areas of concern, and feel free to add some pretend areas to this as well. And what have you already tried as the teacher? Next week, you're going to come together as a group and decide next steps as an MTSS team. This week, you're just listing the presenting strengths and areas of concern. So let's go back to our week. It's filling out that basic referral form after you pick which example you want to write from. And so that won't take much time. And then our discussion for the week, it's going to be focused on multiple intelligences, and then also choosing a curriculum that you are going to be researching and eventually doing a presentation and a paper on. It's a long time from now. It's close to 2 months away, but because it's a bigger assignment, you'll want to start researching that now. So let me show you the examples that you can choose from. That's also in our week. So when you're choosing which program to study, you're going to choose one, and it's those CASEL approved programs. And remember, they're approved because they have good research to support those 5 competencies. And also they have research in general to support that they are helpful for children. So when you click on those, you're going to get a whole list, and know that there's lots of information you can find on them online. Conscious discipline we're going to be talking about more this semester. ALS, PALS is used a lot. I wanted to point out some ones that you might be more interested in, but I'm hoping to get a variety in your classes so that you can learn about quite a few of these from each other eventually. High Scope is used for some different preschool programs, including Head Start and some of the longest standing preschool programs. The Incredible Years is something that your district uses and a lot of districts use right now for young children. And then one that I've enjoyed a lot as well is Second Step. A lot of schools use that. And then Tools of the Mind. This is actually based on Lev Vygotsky's research. So I know a couple of you mentioned how interested you are in Lev Vygotsky. You might be interested in that program. But again, your task for this week is simply to choose a program that you're going to research, and you're just going to list that as part of your discussion. For the discussions, one or more paragraphs, make sure that they're thorough in your responses. I've been thrilled so far with all of your discussions, so I think you're on the right track. And just make sure by midweek each week after the week has been done, all of your grades should be updated. Your teacher or I will let you know if you are falling behind, and you can find that simply by going up to the top and clicking on your grades. You can also see any comments that I've listed on your discussions and so on. I look forward to working with you again this week. And remember, this week we're looking at the beginnings of what do we do when a student is struggling, and we've already tried a couple things as a teacher on our own. What do we do to develop emotional intelligence in our students, and how can we honor and support those multiple intelligences that they have, that we have as well, that are stronger for us? And how do we start supporting these students more? You're also going to choose a social emotional program to start researching further to become a bit of an expert on for your class later this semester. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.